And that's when the ducks attacked. Hello, Free Enterprise fans. How are you all doing today? I hope you're great. I am passable. This is Organ Mike here in the booth for this All-Forked Cup tournament game. I'm here with Rex Soul. How are you doing, Rex Soul?
I am avoiding the ducks. How are you doing?
Also avoiding the ducks, we have Guerin doing tracking for us and Leggy Starscream restreaming, and this is going to be a fun time in the Adamant Cup experience. Rexel, why don't you tell these fun people what the Adamant Cup experience is all about?
It is all about finishing 3 objectives that are random objectives. Today we have curing the fever with a sand ruby, defeating the Baron Castle basement throne, and conquering the Vanilla Ribbon Room, and then also obtaining 12 key items. If you complete those 4 objectives, you're awarded the crystal and you get to go face Zeramus. However, we have a few things just besides doing that. You only get 4 people in your party as opposed to 5, which means no slingshot. Of your characters, well, none of them are free. However, they can be found in treasures. So your normal free characters can be found in treasures in the overworld, as well as the underworld and moon, as well as in Monster Hunter boxes. Also, your Cecil comes preloaded with Paladin. Don't have to worry about going to ordeals to get in that way. Last but not least, it's going to be an expensive flag set. We have the S Price 200 flag on, meaning that our consumable items will be 200% of their normal value. Those are probably the big ones. Oh yeah, by the way, Sid, he's hanging out in the Dwarf Castle Infirmary. He'll have a key item for us, possibly. We should check him out if we go down there.
Almost certainly. There's also one other little detail. Every one of those objectives that gets checked off gives the runners a 25% experience boost, and that does compound with the normal experience boost they get for getting 10 key items, the doubling of the experience in that case, meaning that there is 200% bonus, 3 times the experience available when the runners have reached all their goals, making that last grind before Zeromus possibly pretty quick, if that's when they choose to do it.
So we have BeautyInDiscovery and Nerukad. What can we say? Oh, and we're starting away. We'll give that just a second. Actually, I think we may have a second. What can you tell us about these 2 runners there, Mike?
Very little. But they're
Excellent.
both going to start with a pair of edges. And a hook. Interesting.
Well, the no dupe flag is not on, which means we can have a pair of edges. That is perfectly acceptable.
So we're going to see a lot of ninjas.
I was going to say, with a pair of edges, an early hook route is actually possible.
This turns out to be a very edgy seed.
It is. Alright, in all seriousness, I think we're probably going to check on some boxes first and see if we can expand on our party, yeah?
Well, we'll see what these runners go. We've got Nerukad immediately headed to Damcian to unleash the hovercraft, and I think, BeautyInDiscovery is going straight to Mount Hobbs to find a third party member. Get that party 75% full. Anything interesting in the treasury? I see a dwarf axe, some money, more money, a soma drop, and a mute bell. And we've got a blue robe on the top of Mount Hobbs and one of the 2 twins.
The White Mage.
The White Mage, the right-handed twin. And a water hag. This should be a pretty straightforward fight.
I think we can consider that French vanilla, couldn't we? Close enough.
Yeah, it's fairly good. We're in the area. He's traveled, but not far.
Right? You almost like seeing water hags somewhere else.
Yeah, you tend to want to see the free bosses later in the seed, where the enemies are much more difficult, as opposed to right there early in the seed. Nerukad immediately heading to Mount Hobbs after raising that hovercraft, and BeautyInDiscovery heading out of Mount Hobbs.
High five on the way by. Got him.
All right.
All right, Beauty's going to head over to Antlion Cave. Another
Nerukad
easy
taking...
check, but also a lot of chest to check as well.
Oh, for sure. Nerukad taking on the Water Hag. Should just be 3 hits wherever that Water Hag happens to be.
Short Steel, Flame Whip.
One of those can be thrown at the enemy, the other cannot. Believe in yourself. Chat, do you believe?
More dollars. 110 gold. Don't spend it all in one place.
Yeah.
And
And sitting in the Antlion spot. Yeah. Coming out of the sand, we have Baigan.
As Nerukad finishes up with Hobbs.
Flame should make pretty short work of this.
If not, so nice, we'll try it twice.
Just scorch the boy's arm off, and away we go. Nerukad finding a Bacchus wine on the doing the full loot of Hobbs here.
Because we did not do the second flame, the arms came back.
That's okay, they'll be exploding. Oh, nope, there's a flame, alright. And we'll see what Baigan was protecting there. And it is the package. Another key item for Beauty and Discovery, and potentially another character check, if he wants it. Nerukad headed to Fabul to do the defense there.
Also free heal.
Illusions and Star Veils available at the Fabul item shop, and Beauty and Discovery also going to find that out, I'm sure. So what are your thoughts at the start of this seed, Rexel?
So far, I'm actually waiting to see who's going to deviate towards that hook route the quickest. When you've got 2 edges this early on, you have a lot of power, and you can sometimes dip in there early, especially if you don't have too punchy of a boss, and take that hook route early, which could give you a advantage over your opponent. In addition to that extra boss check, and that's a gated shop, a lot of reasons to maybe go down there earlier than you probably would.
That makes sense. I know, if I remember the flag set properly, somewhere out here there is going to be a magma key freely available. Well, not freely available. It'll be in a key item check somewhere. If I've got my flag set right.
Let's. Do we have force? I don't believe we have force magma on.
We've got Beauty and Discovery burning a grimoire and throwing some flame out to take care of the King and Queen Eblon early. Nerukad is looks like going to endure the indignity of the assault here. I'm being told that Force Magma is not on, so the hook may be our only way underground.
Great Crystal.
I'm getting my flag sets mixed up.
Easy to do when you have 3 of them here in the All Fort Cup.
Yeah.
So with that Earth Crystal, we at least have a chance to go check out the Troya Treasury, which may be able to load up our 2 edges in order to be able to take that hook route. The Tower of Zot's also an option for a pair of characters, pair of bosses, and a character, and a key item check.
Yeah, and a lot of seeds, the Earth Crystal does open up quite a bit, but there's only room for 1 more character in this party, so it's not necessarily the best option, but we'll see what they choose. It also, who knows what's hiding behind that Earth Crystal in the key item spot. It could be the Baron Key, which is hard required. Or the Sand Ruby, for that matter.
Beauty's going to take a look at that treasury. Let's play Rate That Treasury. All right, chat, let's get ready.
What do we see? An Avenger, protecting Murasame, Sorcerer, Silver Apple,
Our shirt.
Silence,
3
Blizzard.
white spears. Ninja hat and Zeus gauntlets.
Yeah, so pretty good. Pretty
So
good.
there's some things to throw.
Nothing to sneeze at. Well, except maybe the Blizzard. Depends on if you're outside in it, I suppose.
True. Looks like Nerukad's going to follow suit here. Take a save outside, which means he may potentially go ahead and go up to Zot after checking this treasury.
Beauty and Discovery exiting out. So, yeah. We have in chat a good out of 10 wood raid again, and a 4 darts out of 10. So there you are. Not bad, not bad. Pretty solid.
White spears out of 10, yeah. So
Beauty and Discovery headed to probably Baron Inn. Again, there's a character check here, so and a key item.
Another Charm Claw. And there's Eddie.
And I see Golbez and Edward. An interesting spot for Golbez. He won't have a lot of hit points here.
Yeah, but we do have which Bez on.
We may find out which Bez it is. Now.
I'm trying to keep the T playable flag out of my head, because it's not in this flag set. I'm seeing all the stuff for Cecil, and I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah. Wait till you see the real terror! Shadow's being called to mealtime.
Piggy.
And casting Piggy. And Mute.
Mute on our White Mage.
And Gas was the other.
That could be worse. No hugs, no stones.
Guess he's full.
No crushes.
Yeah, oh, they're still alive. Pour him
Selected heal by Golbez. But well, why?
Well, why not? Nerukad with a full inventory is...
I see a cursed ring. Where was that cursed ring picked up?
I think it might have been in the other part of the treasury, or of the
treasury.
Basement. And we've got the alt gauntlet protecting that Edward. Beauty and Discovery now having to take, rather than taking on a fairly easy fight, has to take on 5 fights from the sewers. Not particularly bad with this party. And again, you know, Bahamut showed up and then immediately just noped out of there. I'm not dealing with alligators, says Bahamut. I don't know what was up with that, but that's what happened. So.
I believe there's a chance with the Grimoire, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Grimoires don't work when you're piggied. There you go.
There we are.
Thank you, Zeno. Appreciate it. And we got to heal off on the piggy edge. So now we have 2 edges who can swing.
The King of the Dragons is not to be summoned by a mere swine.
Now, Flame should work for both these edges now. So normally you've only got enough magic power for 4 of the fights early on with Edge to be able to use Flame, but with 2 of them there, you can take advantage of that trading off.
Nerukad went and explored the Troya shops and sold off a bunch of equipment. Nerukad was dealing a bit with the inventory boss there, so... And now we're going to head back into the castle.
Yeah, we're back to Zot, it looked like. Again, 2 characters might be nice to be able to round out your party early on.
What do you think the odds are of a 3rd edge up there?
About as good as everything else, I believe.
That would definitely be interesting. Yep.
Flame Puppy.
And what is Edward carrying? A Sand Ruby. Well, that Fabul Gauntlet is hard required. So Beauty and Discovery now having the Sand Ruby.
We get to go to Kaipo with Eddie and party with a Sand Ruby. This smells a little vanilla.
I'm not sure that either of the 2 ninjas or the child white mage were actually involved with that particular scene in the original.
Do not believe so as well. Yeah, if Nerukad isn't fading Baron until later, that could be an issue. I think the only thing that would bring him back to Baron and otherwise is for that Baron Castle basement throne, do them all at once. So I don't think it'll be faded for the entire seed, but we'll be missing out on that 25% experience that you get from completing the objective.
There does come a point at which you say, what have I not gotten to yet that's fairly straightforward? So we'll see. See what Nerukad decides to do here.
That's a young.
We've got young. Yeah. Oh.
He says no thanks. Buddy,
He's
you
gonna
need to
have
do
to.
that. That's an objective. You need to do that. I know you don't want him, but you need to do that.
You don't have to keep him. You
don't
just have to wake him up.
You have 4 people. You don't have to take him.
Well, I mean, his fourth is Edward, so...
Either way, though, it's not like it's a permajoin.
Nerukad beating up Dr. Lugai at the top of Mount Zot in the Magisister's spot.
Dr. Dialogue doing his dialogue things.
And a couple of darts takes down the dock and the robot.
Yeah, we're gonna dive down underground, and that's unfortunate. He's gonna miss out on quite a bit of experience walking, especially those hook spots. Oh, and these monster boxes here too.
Monster boxes, yeah.
That's unfortunate. Because we're talking about 8,000 apiece without the boost. So that's 10. That's 2,000 each. Yeah.
Nerukad has defeated Dr. Lugai. And we're going to see, presumably, what's in Zot 2.
Another power shirt. So he has 2 power shirts on 2 edges.
Living the dream.
No monster boxes in the center of the castle, up in the throne room.
There is Cecil.
Cecil. And that's going to be Val at Dwarf 2.
Okay, yeah. Not a particularly bad spot to find Valvalus.
Nope. Pair of flames. Edward not long for this world. Never really is.
And there's a twin.
And another white mage. I don't think we keep that one.
That's one too many white mages.
Dwarf Axe to go ahead and back row our Cecil and then hand him an Avenger.
So for any who might not know, the back row glitch happens when you equip a character with a weapon that does equal damage from the back row as from the front. That the flag is set that they will do that equal damage from the back row as well as the front, but it is never unset, whether or not you unequip that weapon. This is called the back row glitch, and it affects pretty much every game of FF4 where it has not been corrected out. We have Paled him at the top of Tower of Zot.
We're just going to dart that ancient sword.
We'll be seeing a lot of slows happen here.
Little doots in the chat. There's a doot.
There's some crystal armor.
How's everyone dooting? Oh, doing. Sorry. You say we saw a crystal?
Crystal armor, yeah. Beauty and Discovery found one in Eblin. In the looting of Eblin.
I could have sworn that Beauty had picked up an assassin dagger at one point in time too, so that wouldn't be a bad move to put that on the edge. One of the edges at this point in time. Try to get through these ogres.
I know Nerukad has. I don't know if Beauty has. I mean, I'm not saying that Beauty hasn't. I'm just saying I know Nerukad has.
Yep. There it is. Yeah,
Yep,
he has it on there.
swoon.
Okay. Yep. A blink on our white mage. And a Masa sword. We will take that. Thank you very much. Zeus gauntlets.
At 200 gold. Nice.
And here
Final
is
monster in the
your
box.
Black Cat Lamia fight. We should be able to knock out the Black Cats with one shot now with both edges. So we shouldn't have to worry about any blustering going on. The Black Cats, if you don't knock them out in one shot, they will counter with Bluster, which can either paralyze a party member or flat out kill them. So
I believe that's a power. I believe that's a power my cat wishes he had, but yeah.
Yep, I did not see the item up for that that fight. Way too quick for my eyes.
Yeah. Pale Dim has gone down, and Beauty and Discovery is headed into Eblan Cave.
Ninja Blade. Yep, there it is. Thank you, Garen. Appreciate it.
That black sword doesn't look particularly useful, since Cecil is already a paladin. And Nerukad is going to pick up an item from here, and it is the Defense Sword.
Sword. Not bad for a Cecil. Defense Sword is definitely a interesting. Sirens and hourglasses in the same shop in Eblan Cave. How about
It's
that?
almost like they want you to grind.
Thunderclaw. That could be useful for several fights. Odin's already... Is Odin not gone yet, is he? No.
No, Odin's still out there. We haven't seen him.
We've seen too many races in the last couple days.
That's
all
fair.
blending together.
And Nerukad at the Baron Inn. And is not going to bother dealing with Golbez and recovering Edward.
Oh, jeez.
So the Sand Ruby may take a while before it gets cured.
One didn't pick it up, and the other one hasn't used it, so...
Yeah,
I
interesting.
could have used it and decided not to.
Yeah. We know it's young in the bed.
So at this point in time, for those of you watching at home, this is exactly where you can see stress within the runners. It's easy to call things from this booth and see things from the outside, but running, sometimes you get a little focused, a little tunnel vision.
Speaking of tunnel vision, we have Sid and his gigantic glasses as the Eblan character, who I imagine will replace Edward in Beauty and Discovery's party. We'll see.
Yes, because you are...
Oh, no.
Well, I was going to say, Edward, I would imagine would replace with Sid just from a anchoring standpoint.
Well, he's got Edward on the ground, so he might decide to just keep him there.
Keep him there. It's true. Charm Claw going on, absolutely.
With that in mind,
weak against Charm Claw.
This is speculation, and this is speculation based on also on imperfect knowledge of the game. But with that in mind, might that be why Beauty and Discovery didn't cure Young's fever with the Sand Ruby? Does that still provide a full heal to the party? Might have wanted to keep Edward on the ground.
Yeah, because you technically take the in, but I mean, at that point in time, I would risk punching him in the face the next fight you get into to get that 25% experience. I mean, the logic is there, but I don't know if it's worth that.
It's entirely speculative.
Yeah. I get the logic, but I don't think that's worth not just taking a swing at him the next fight you're in. because you're losing 25% experience on all 3 of those monster hunter boxes. Well, 4 now, because he ran the one here.
And
He
2
ran the one at
bosses
Apple Cave at 5. Yeah, so he's missed out on 25% experience. So it's, and I want to stop bringing that up because I'm going to bring it up. I can bring up the rest of the seed if I wanted to, but the point stands that I understand the logic. I do.
Yeah, like I said, entirely speculative. Meanwhile, on Nerukad's side, also taking on those Mad Ogres in Eblin Castle and doing some life glitching. Anyone new to Free Enterprise or Final Fantasy IV running may not be aware of the life glitch. The way it works is when you use Life 1 or a Life Potion, which is the same thing, you recover one of your characters with hit points equal to 5 times their vitality score. Monsters, meanwhile, have 0 for vitality, meaning they are revived with 5 times 0, which, let me check the math on that, is 0 hit points. Meaning they are revived and immediately die again. Their sprite doesn't even reappear, they just stay dead, but they do give double experience and money for that. So it's a nice little glitch for grinding.
Your math never ceases to amaze me, sir.
I do what I can.
This is a Bahamut at Hook 1.
Oh, good lord.
In any other situation, this might be a tough fight. We've got some darts we can use. We've got significant weapons. Yeah, that ends up going down pretty easily. Is this a vanilla ruby?
Rubicant. It could be Rubicant. It could be the elements. And it is the elements. And there's Edward back on his feet again with that full heal that Rubicant offers.
Mm-hmm.
And there goes Edward. Yeah.
Yep.
Barding is hard work, let me tell you.
He's not playing the right songs, it seems. Lamia just short of the 1,000 hit points there, but the Charmed Edge does not get a swing in. So Nerukad will finish off that monster in a box.
And yes, there's confirmation it was a ninja sword. And we're over to Keinatsu.
We're switching to our Thunderclaw now.
Reasonable. The lit does scare him. But does not scare her. There's Valvolus. The Berserked Edge might scare her a little bit, but... the Berserked Edges, pardon me.
Yeah, that 6,200 damage might do it.
Yeah, it seems to have accomplished the task. And that's it for the elements, putting Beauty and Discovery into the underground, launching the Falcon on the other side of the pitfall.
We get our first check at who may be at the top of the Tower of Babel. And it is Dark Imps, looks like. Although, if I'm not mistaken, isn't there an issue with the top of the castle and having a different color sprite?
Your guess is much better than mine is.
I believe there's... I think if it's... there's something to do with the fact that you can only use 2 of the same color sprites, and we already have blue for Water Hag and for the Gauntlet. Not top of tower. See, Xena knows where my head's going, but my lack of knowledge is... that's Dwarf Castle. Thank you. I know I wasn't completely going crazy, at least not for that. So yeah, the thing is, if you see a, I think it's a red robe, at the Dwarf Castle spot, it could possibly be one of the other ones and not just the Dark Imp. So that was a long-winded explanation for no actual information. Yeah.
Yeah, the blue robes are Water Hag and Gauntlet, and we know where both of those are, and the purple robes are both variants of Mylon. And who do we have here? We have a purple robe, so it's a Mylon back there.
Nerukad finally diving into Antline Cave. No more hunting in boxes, which, again, you've got a pretty sizable party, pretty strong party, and I don't see a need to go hunting for characters, so I would suspect we'll see the last of our runners looting at this point in time.
So we have Mylan and friends.
Are they really friends, though?
It's, study necromancy. You can make your own friends.
This is true. And we know the battle is at Dwarf 2.
Yeah, and Baigan is not going to last long for Nerukad in the Antline Cave, although that was a pretty weak hit from that edge. Poor him out-damaged at 3-1.
Yeah, that edge is cursed, if I remember correctly.
Okay. And there's a package. Probably will go unchecked. I believe the only value a package has in this flag set is a character check.
Yeah, in the Firebomb Fiesta, it is a key item check as well, but not in this flag set.
Nerukad now picking up the hovercraft, and also headed to Eblin. Interesting, I would have thought that the Baron Inn check would have been one to make just in case it had the magma key. We know it doesn't have the magma key, but just in case.
Alright, time to see who our character check at Dwarf Castle is. Like I said, we know Val was here to the second boss.
We got Kane. And there goes Edward.
Yep, that Avenger Sword will get some use. Along with one of the white spears that I believe is left over. I believe Beauty only tossed 2 of them, so...
And Kane could jump and unspin Valvulus.
Which is not a necessity here.
No, it doesn't seem to be all that important.
Yeah. We're just going to slice right through that. Nerukad's coming to the Eblin Cave shops.
We'll find, or has already found, Sirens and Hourglass 2s in that spot. While the creepy hand of Valvalis is going to go and steal the crystal for BeautyInDiscovery.
The G-Warp glitch is not on, which it wouldn't matter anyway, since we don't have a way to warp there. But the warp glitch would allow you to go.
In theory, they couldn't, even if they could.
Correct.
And Luca wearing around her neck a rat tail.
A rat tail? That's kind of gross.
The finest in dwarven fashion, clearly. And we do have a hook to turn that in, so it is a possibility.
And here is our Dwarf Castle check with Sid. The Gungnir Spear.
A Gungnir. Nerukad's still checking treasure chests and getting the Stale Man in Cave Eblin. And Beauty deciding to land on the town of Tomra, crushing several houses.
Yep, the next scowl from the Stale Man will be used quite quickly.
Oh, there's coffins to go with those sirens, too. Nerukad will get the news about Sid. And we have a fire inspector. Yeah. Now, is that someone who checks the fire to make sure it's okay, or is that someone who inspects in case of fire?
The world may never know.
Well, we're seeing a little bit of fire that could be inspected on Nerukad's side there.
Beauty taking the Feymarch freebie check.
And possibly taking a look at who the king and queen are down there.
This is true. The K7 flag is on, so both those bosses have a potential key item behind them. Or maybe in their pocket, may not be behind them.
And Sid has joined Nerukad.
For the moment. Yep.
No? Yeah, Sid is going to stay.
We're going to take the curse ring off the edge and put it on the Sid. Which makes more sense. An Assassin Dagger in the Feymarch freebie. Not much to write home about in the Feymarch item shop.
That would be a strange letter home. Dear Mum and Dad. Oh, we've got an antlion and a lunar
are
sparkle.
Not fun fights. For those wondering. That's an antlion and a sparkle.
Dear Mum and Dad, today I walked into an item shop and found potions. Yeah, I'm not sure that I would find that too appealing. I guess if they haven't heard from you in a while.
Especially when you tell them you're a land of summoned monsters, too.
Yeah, that would be a little more interesting. Hello, Mum and Dad. I have delved deep into the underworld and seen horrors unimaginable. Also, this shop had potions. It was kind of neat.
Yes. So Beauty is setting up Sheila 1. Which maybe, just maybe, we will be turning in the rat tail on the way to do that. You see a keyless tower check while we're down here?
I don't know, we've got key items to, or we've got routes to check already. So, I think we're just going to drill up through that mountain. That is a powerful drill.
Yeah, keyless would have been before Sheila 1. That's a good call out there, Garen. You might, just in case the top of tower would have been the pan.
And switching airships to get the hook again, to get the hovercraft again, to go turn in that rat's tail.
We may just go straight up to the east side and get ordeals while we're at it. Nope. Because neither party has checked ordeals.
It's a long check. 3 bosses for 1 key item.
Especially when you've already got Cecil as a paladin. Not a necessity as it is, maybe another seeds. Rat tail yields.
Rat tail says the Baron key, which also is required. So there we go. We now have, well, we have much of what we need. We still need a darkness crystal somewhere.
We do? Does Sheila have the goods?
We'll find out.
That would make the seed really interesting very quickly.
So yeah.
For those of you keeping track at home, Beauty is halfway to his 12 items. Nerukad is a quarter of the way to his 12 items.
And Sheila has... Drum roll, please. Artemis arrows. Apparently nothing that Beauty wanted.
Thanks, but no thanks. Yeah, darkness behind ordeals would be fitting. That definitely would be, especially with... It seems like both players are intending just to bait it. Beauty looks like finally going back turning that sand ruby. So we will have our first objective crossed off. 37 minutes into the seed.
And Nerukad is fighting Bahamut at the Hook Road.
So we will get to ask Beauty the reasoning behind waiting until the 37-minute mark to turn it in. We had a couple of speculations in chat that it was simply because they didn't necessarily need the extra experience that early on. You're going to be grinding anyway, so...
Nerukad adopted for the Reflect strats to deal with Mega Nuke, and as a result, Sid went down. No one else did. Not that big a deal, because the Elements fight here will provide a full heal before the battle begins.
Yeah, and I think that Nerukad's probably going to use Sid as their anchor anyway, so having Sid lying on the ground is not necessarily the worst option.
No, that Sid does have a cursed ring on already.
Yep. Beauty's loading up. Yeah. Yep, loading up Kane.
Nerukad is through stage 1 of the elements fight, and then leg is gone. Stage 2 is finished. We have Kainatsu of the water.
Nothing really of note in the Baron weapon shop, accessible by the Baron key. There's a couple of ninja stars in there. You got a lunar staff, but nothing that really pops out.
And Nerukad will be finished with Valvolus very soon.
Like now.
Like
That
now,
7,000 swing will do some work.
That's a lot, yeah.
Baron 1, I did not mark down who's at Baron 1. Because I saw
That
the two
was-
edges.
Yeah. Uh-oh. My brain is not reminding me.
And we'll see it in a second.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Trying to be a proactive commentator rather than a reactive commentator for a change, but in this case...
You tried and you do your best and still... Who have we got? We got
yes,
Sparkle.
Sparkle. That's why I didn't know what it was.
Because we don't
That's
know who
it.
it is until
Sure.
just now.
That's exactly what it was. That's why I didn't know it.
It's
D-Lunars.
D-Lunars. And
I'm
Beauty has
twitching behind the
decided to
microphone.
just go straight on the straight in full force. Not too worried about the reflected viruses that might come.
Nerukad is now underground
Yeah.
as the final D-Lunar falls on Beauty's side. All right.
And a moment of silence for that Lunar Sparkle, which didn't even offer to join the party.
That's unfortunate.
At least Bacon tries.
They at least have 5th spot. We know they can't join the 5th one, but they could have tried.
Well, there were 2 dragons, so right, so there wasn't enough room.
True. That's true.
We got Mumbomb on the throne.
We have a Mura and a Masa on the edge on Nerukad's side now. So, if you're a Beauty, are you heading right down to do the basement too? I'm assuming so.
I would go down and at least check who it is.
And with the cane with a white spear and Avenger sword and a pair of edges, I'm not thinking much is going to be a problem.
We know it's
for,
not
like, your evil
Gauntlet.
walls or
Yeah, Evil Wall could be an issue. Listen, we know it's not Gauntlet.
Octomammoth could be tough, but he's got a couple. He's
Yeah.
got a couple thunder claws.
Yeah. Sid giving Sid a Gungnir Spear there.
A Dark Knight would be probably bad too.
And we have
Fusoya.
Fusoya.
Yeah, it's an upgrader for him, yeah. Do it have a white and black mage?
All rolled into one.
Yep. And I'm guessing Beauty's probably got Fu at 14 or 1500 already, so I didn't see when they were trying to pick him up. It's true, it does get rid of Exit, unless Fu already has Exit.
Yeah. For those who might not know, Fusoya, I believe, gets 3 random spells for every boss that's killed, because having him show up at full power is just too much.
Doesn't learn it here. This is me not knowing. Oh, because the sequential R Fusoya. Yep. He won't learn Exit unless you pick up. Well,
Beauty, I believe, has a source of exit items.
yeah, it's already a Rosa flag. But we've done Zot, so that doesn't give Fusoya Exit. Or you don't. Oh, you don't learn it because that's where Rosa would learn it. That's right. Sorry. Yep. I remember that flag now. So how the Fusoya sequential R works. Oh yeah. I was right. You have to do Zot.
Beauty
But he's
hasn't
not
done
done
Zot. Nerukad has done, or Nerukad has done Zot.
I promise I'm seeking help outside of the stream, I promise.
Beauty headed right downstairs. Nerukad has defeated Mylon and friends and is going to give us a fight against Valvalus.
Skipping all of the treasure on the way to the basement throne.
And on that throne, we see another sparkle.
That wyvern could be bad.
But it's Plague.
Plague, doable, but fast.
Warp, 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 warp. And Beauty looks like he's going to try I'm going to try and get Fusoya out of the fight and then bring him back to restart the count. So long as someone in the party does not have a count, Plague will reset the count, which restarts it for everybody.
Yep, and if you're in a spot where you don't have much damage to be able to take Plague out, and you don't have that much wiggle room and life potions, you could also reflect. Count back onto Plague.
Which can be hilarious. And there goes Plague for Beauty and Discovery with a second goal now complete. And we will see the Luca key. That would be an interesting place for that darkness crystal to be hiding.
Yes, it would. That's key item number 8 for Beauty.
Nerukad has the dwarven rat tail and is taking on the warriors. They have come out to play.
Not a lot of AoE damage.
But we already have darkness, says chat. And yes, it's there on Beauty's tracker. Apparently, Beauty definitely has the darkness crystal.
Yep, there is Raising of the Whale.
Yep. I am obviously tired. So all Beauty and Discovery really needs is 4 more key items to check off that first goal and conquering the vanilla ribbon room, and that will earn the crystal.
Do we know if Fusoy has weak? The Fusoy has weak. We have sirens. We have hourglasses. We can do a nice, fun grind up here on Gold Dragons.
He just picked up Meteo from that last boss fight.
Again, I'm used to the Fusoy maybe flag. He will have weak. Yes, he will, because he just won Meteo. We are going to check cave value first.
It's a reasonable thing to do.
Zeno and Garen keeping us honest here in the booth. Always appreciate that.
Nerukad gonna have a little nap, meaning I would interpret that as an intention not just to check the king and queen of monsters, but possibly to attack them.
We know that's probably not the case. Given who's there. We have Octomammoth at the Bahamut spot in Cave Value, which here come the Thunder Claws.
Could be exciting.
This could be very, very punchy, though. Yep, here comes the Illusion. The question is going to be, can we do enough damage quick enough to where those illusions won't wear off?
Nerukad giving Sid 10 magic points just because. And going to check who that sparkle is. In this case, it is the Wyvern.
Oof. But in a Sur spot, that's a lot of magic power, which means Starveil should have a good reflect there. Beauty bouncing out of the Octomammoth spot.
Yeah, there's 10,000 damage to the Wyvern, and Nerukad just switching up to the Avenger.
Or we could just do something else. That looks like it's going to be hair dryers, yeah?
I would imagine.
But yeah, good call out, Garen in chat, saying, yeah, well, we could probably use that Moonveil we got earlier on that Octomammoth.
Nerukad getting the pass. That's an interesting draw. And the Prociotes and Jucleotes appear. And Nerukad headed back to that save point. Looks like pushing up again. Maybe going to go try that Antlion. Antlion presents an interesting challenge.
Moonveil up, that's a walk.
Antlion presents an interesting challenge there because, for whatever reason, a lot of these bosses that don't do anything but cast spells have extremely high strength. And Antlion is very punchy to begin with. We just got a coffin from the Prociotes and Jucleotes.
Yeah, the only thing that the only thing that could really bother is the counter. Illusions will keep the punches away, but that counter's still going to sting a little bit. So
2,500 damage on that poor Porum.
I did not see what the award was from the hair dryers.
Coffin, just one.
Coffin.
Yeah. Those counters don't seem to be doing a whole lot for Antlion. Did 300 damage to Cecil. I mean, that's still a fair chunk, but
not enough to sneeze about, though.
Yeah, even that 450.
Yeah, as long as those counters keep hitting Cecil, then Nerukad's scot-free here. Eddie at the Lunar Palace. Probably saying hi, Eddie, bye, Eddie.
Just goes to show you his music is out of this world.
Alright, so Beauty needs, by my count, 4 key items. And has to conquer the vanilla room. So, if we go top down here, we have 6
checks.
Well, 5 checks, but 1 yielding 2 potential key items. So, we could just walk to Z from here. As Antlion goes down from Nerukad, we get to see if
and a good
that
fight.
was hiding anything.
Well done. Bahamut Orb. Interesting.
Not so much. That's a lot of money.
We haven't seen Iridia.
And I think even if we did, don't think it would matter. So that was good for experience.
For sure, yeah. Unfortunately, not what Nerukad was looking for.
No, because I don't know if the experience was enough to warrant the time spent to knock those down.
But once you've done it, no point in noping out, and that pass may be valuable.
Yeah, the pass could be valuable depending on how Nerukad goes about getting their 12 key items.
And Nerukad still hasn't checked Baron in for the Sand Ruby yet, so...
No, Baron in for Sand Ruby. Neither runner has checked Ordeals, which could be a key item. We obviously still have a lot of opportunities for chains. That's a big nope rope.
We have the Canadian Danger Noodle, Ogopogo, Defender of the Okanagan Valley. And, you know, on the moon for some reason.
Yeah. He's Kane staying alive by the hair of Chain Chin Chin. Kusoya looking like a Swiffer now.
Ogopogo doing some damage out there. And the big wave is, of course, percentage-based. It is every wave that goes through is 25% of the party's maximum hit points in damage. Nerukad going to take on Golbez and Edward at the Baron Inn, and we'll get the Sand Ruby, which is required for the seed. Beauty and Discovery checking the ribbon room, and we have... Ogopogo.
We knew this.
I'm sorry, I thought he was checking the White Spear altar.
No, that's okay. No, that's okay. I was like, where are you? So we knew this. Yeah, I think the getting the illusions out, maybe check and help out with this one too. Is the illusion better on edge than the image spell? Or both just have 2 shots? I'm just wondering if it wouldn't be better off waiting and using those illusions on somebody else. I think it's the same.
And here come the darts. Meanwhile, for Nerukad, we're seeing a piggy and some gas. And a retreat from the Shadow Dragon.
Careful.
And now it will be ended. The pig takes a swing, and that's the end of Golbez.
That's the quick fight.
And now, this.
Which will still be a quick fight, just not as quick as you would like it to be.
Just relatively quick.
The word annoying is the word I would probably use here in place of quick.
That's probably quite reasonable. I believe Cecil has the Avenger on.
Which that will help. Just hold in A. Actually, don't need that. You could probably get away with just going to go grab a drink or something like that. But when you've got 5 enemies here, you might want someone to help out.
Yep.
Another wave coming in from the Danger Noodle.
2 big waves.
And another wave. So Kane will be kneeling down. Not quite. Just shy of 20%. Ogopogo should be getting close. I lost count because I looked over the other screen real quick. There we go.
Yep, good call.
There's Image. See, that's why he used the illusions.
And there's the next objective, and there's a pan.
Which could lead to another one.
2 more key item checks.
That's true. If K7, that's 2 key item checks. Bonkin Yang and getting a potential key item from the Sylph down there in the Sylph Cave Infirmary. And then when you give Yang's wife, Sheila, back the pan, she says, oh, thanks. Here, have this. Sometimes it's a key item. Sometimes it's not very useful.
And And we got the Magus Sisters in the White Spear room. This is Plague's spot normally, so they're going to be pretty speedy, I would think. Here goes. I don't know how powerful it'll be. Pretty powerful. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've lost track of I'm not counting Nerukad's fights, so I'm not sure how close, but must be getting there.
I think this is the last one, if I recall, from when Beauty did the gauntlet. I think the Aqua Worm was the last one. Uh-oh. Fu is almost out of MP, so we're only getting a Cure 3 off here. Let's not forget Fu and Edge both are walled at this point in time as well. And Fu becomes a Swiffer again.
Well, there goes Sandy.
You don't necessarily want that to happen, though.
No, there are better ways for this to go.
Yep, leaving Cindy by herself, she may restore the sisters back. And that would make this for a not-so-fun time.
But it would provide a lot of
There we
experience.
go. There we go.
Yeah. I don't know if this is evident, but Sandy is in fact the tallest of the Magus Sisters.
She might very well be... Oh, there's that Legend Sword. She might very well be the tallest of the bosses. I'm thinking Golbez and Ruby are up there as well, but...
Well, in terms of tall sprites, yes, but I have to imagine that Rubicant is probably something like 12 feet tall in reality. And I would think that Bahamut is probably, like, pretty long.
So that is now 10 items on Beauty's side.
Which will present double experience.
Yep. And we have 2 more checks here. We've got the Masamune altar and the Crystal Sword altar. I imagine we're going to check both of those before we leave the moon, just in case they both do yield key items. At the Masa altar we have... Wait for it.
What could be nasty here? That could be
That's
nasty.
Not fun. That's gonna be nasty and not fun. That's good. Yeah, that's precisely what that is. Nasty and not fun.
Well, yeah, and Kane still has the Avenger on.
That's not good at all. That's actually the opposite of good.
I mean, it's fine for now.
And yeah, for now.
Nerukad taking on those lunar dragons.
I'm Yeah, that's
turned into mist.
Really good.
We'll see how big that counterattack is now.
We're just gonna kill Kane real quick, then bring him back to life. But he's going to get a couple cold mists off. It's. I think you're okay. So he's going to bring Fu back to life.
Maybe have some time to get some blinks up.
Yeah, I think at this point in time we're going to get blinks up, and then when D-Mist comes back, we'll bring. Yeah, we'll bring Kane back up. That way Kane will use the Avenger again. It's an interesting play to do it this way. The only risk is in the event that you obviously lose to the Cold Mists.
Nerukad taking on that plague in the barren basement. I think Beauty's just going to leave Kane on the floor and go all in on trying to take that Mist Dragon down. Ugh, those hits are hard.
Yep. Yeah, but now Fu can cast Blink on the other two. We're going to bring Edge back to life. I think we have a couple. We can also use. We now have Image, so
that's true. That could be useful. Going to use Nerukad using a kamikaze to knock down Sid. Beauty not doing any defensive magicking.
Nope, we're just saying, you know what? All gas, no brakes.
We have the firepower, we have the intention. Nerukad getting that Luca key.
26 lives in our inventory.
And there goes Demist. And a Twin Harp. There's item number 11.
So that Crystal Sword Ultra could be 12.
Yep.
I imagine that's the next play.
We could be seeing the end game here.
Yeah, so we have 175% bonus right now for Beauty on these upcoming fights. The 10 key items plus the 3 objectives.
Mumbomb taking, or Nerukad taking on Mumbomb.
Edge doing his best Luigi impression, walking across the empty space.
Legs flailing.
That's a Super Mario 2 reference for those you young kids out there.
Wow, Mumbomb didn't even get to her second phase on Nerukad's side. And there's Fusoya.
Okay, so Zeno, that's good math. Because I think every time I've done this seed, we've speculated on how that works. Oh,
and
that's
it's an evil wall at Wyvern's spot.
That's an evil fight. Basically in the same spot we were with Demist. We just don't have to kill Kane here.
Yeah.
Casting some slow, casting some image.
Nerukad now having the Darkness Crystal. And going to collect Young.
Electing just brute force here.
And found a character in that pot.
The Cure 4. Kane sustained just under fatal damage. So we're going to keep Kane swinging. Feel we'll get another nuke off here.
So where we're at now, an hour and 6 minutes in, BeautyInDiscovery is looking for one more key item. Nerukad still needs to get to the moon. And BeautyInDiscovery, just taking out that evil wall, may well have that 12th key item. We'll see.
Nope. Not quite. And
Beauty does not have the crystal, or does not have the Cecil to wield that crystal sword.
Yep. And we have no exit either. So if I'm Beauty, what am I checking first?
You're already here. Muramesa Altar is not a bad option.
Did we not do the Mirror Altar yet, did we?
Nope, haven't seen Mirror Altar. I don't know. Do you go back and try that Octomom again?
I would probably, and this is just me. Yeah, I think we have to do the Mirror Altar. I thought we had done it. But yeah, I think I'm safe scumming and going back and checking the pan. If
also reasonable, yeah.
and then if the pan is a pan out, all pun intended there.
Yeah.
You can do value then, but that Octomammoth is going to be a really, really rough spot.
Oh, for sure. Nerukad now checking cave value and is going to find that Octomam. Pan does offer 2 chances.
Yeah, just mathematically, it's the best. It's the best check.
Of course, Nerukad has the advantage of the pass too, which Beauty and Discovery does not have, and I don't suspect will get because it's behind Queen of Monsters.
Yeah, there's really no reason for Beauty to check that unless he runs. I mean, if he runs out of other places to check, but I think at this point in time, there's nowhere else besides finding the pink tail, which might be on Ordeals, is the only thing I could think that would be outside of cave value.
There's also the Twin Harp, but that's a long
I
check.
think that's your last check.
Yeah.
That or the Luca key. Both are. I mean.
Yep. And Top of Tower. So there are some long checks still available.
Top of Tower's not terrible. That's about 3.5 minute walk. But without doing Keyless Tower right now, I think you're definitely doing pan first.
Nerukad heading towards that Octomam. Going to take a breath on it, slow down the battle speed.
Yeah, we're going to check Mura first here. Definitely the right play. I mean, we don't want to see something like... I mean, the good thing is this is the... this is an easy fight. This is a free fight.
Pretty cool, yeah.
This is free fight. This is Lip 3 by Fusoya. This is our Thunder Claws by Edge. I mean, this is free.
Octomam down some tentacles on Nerukad's side. Still hitting like a beast, but not moving as fast.
So if you find a key item here, obviously you're going straight to Z. If you don't, Nerukad has a chance to catch up.
Mm-hmm. And just a reminder, if all of this is of interest to you, the Free Enterprise community is wonderful and open and accepting. If you want to be a part of the races, if you just want to be around these sorts of people, and if you want to just enjoy the game, or if, like me, you want to give commentary and not actually have run a seed for years, you can do any of that. We have a Discord, we have a wonderful community, we obviously have a Twitch channel. Feel free to join us, and I think if it... Exclamation point Discord in the chat? I got it right! Alright, it's in there in the chat.
Yay!
So, hey! So do come hang out with us. Stray Sine Wave saying, why would I run Free Enterprise when I could smugly backseat from chat? Exactly. I don't run it. I just smugly backseat from the commentary booth. There's the Adamant
Rock. So
yeah,
value
Adamant
would be key item 12. So Beauty's going to go try it again.
We'll see, yeah. Going to head in
So, yeah,
a little more powerful and possibly a little more prepared.
Yeah, because... Yeah, so Nerukad's going to go in and start clearing the moon as well.
Yep. And Nerukad needs... Oh, my math has not been serving me well today. It is... He needs 3 more key items, which I believe can be...
No, there's only 2. Yep, you got the package at the Panet Ribbon Room, and the Legend Sword at the White Spear. Why Beauty had to come back out.
Where was Twin Harp?
Oh, where was Twin Harp? I don't have that written down. Okay, never mind. There it is, yes.
So, Nerukad in unknowing go mode.
That
And I
Octomam hits
imagine
hard.
will not bring that Edward with him, I don't think.
Probably not.
Didn't even take the crossbow.
That's kind of rude.
Yeah, it was sitting right there. Beauty and Discovery taking a second shot at Octomam. Going round 2 with the boxing octopus.
Yeah, Garen, I'm in agreement here. Unless we get a wipe here from Beauty, Beauty's definitely in the driver's seat. If we get a wipe here, then Nerukad's got an outside chance.
Well, and especially with this decision to go to the Muramesa altar, we know it's just got an Avenger on it. So, but of course Nerukad doesn't know that. So it's not going to give Nerukad much of what he's looking for, unless he's looking for experience.
It's surprising because we've got Nerukad's only got 8. I counted the pass for 9. He's only got 8. So this will not work.
No, there's 9 plus the pass there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, that's okay. I'm only wearing my glasses. I don't need to worry about that.
That's all right. And there's Beauty getting the 12th key item and ready to go.
Go mode.
What do you think of those numbers? Is Beauty ready to go for a Z fight?
Depends on how you're feeling. If you feel like you're in the driver's seat, you've got sirens, you've got hourglasses, you take a couple dragons on the way there. If you don't, I mean, he's got the firepower. It's a matter of whether or not he feels he can outrun the Big Bangs. Because you can definitely, with Nuke on Fu, you can definitely nerf them.
Firepower is all well and good, but if you can't survive to use it, it's not going to help you.
Yeah, it's personal preference, really, at this point in time. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see on the way down him take 1 or 2 gold dragon fights. I mean, at this rate, you're talking massive amounts of XP if you get a life glitch off. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him take 1 or 2. It really depends on how far ahead he thinks he is.
Or whether he thinks he's behind or not. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing what appeared to be a backtrack by Beauty, aside from the wipe at the cave value. So
and the doubling back on the Sand Ruby.
Yeah, but we still don't know if that was intentional or not.
But the 2 runners are basically neck and neck at the moment, though they're not going to the same place.
No, see, Nerukad's still got to hit 2 altars, so... Well, 3 altars. He's got to hit. He's got to hit the white sphere. Well, 2 altars in the ribbon room. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of depends on how Beauty's feeling in terms of. I mean, if I'm looking at the clock, that's hour 16. If I recall, most of these seeds are hour 20. I think he's heading right for Z. I don't think he's stopping. I think he's looking at the clock and saying.
I think this is the room normally that they fight the gold dragons, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just walking. Yeah, he's going to save your ribbon room.
Literally running the same path. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going down to 3. Yeah, we're definitely going straight to Z here. So we've got an N in chat. We've got a Z in chat.
Yeah.
We're checking out our agility.
But no flags.
Fu is definitely our anchor here at 20.
Now I see some flags in chat.
Yeah.
So for any who do not know, can a hat do taxes? No, Zeromus is of course extremely dangerous and cannot be randomized into the normal boss pool, because if he were to show up at Cave Mist, he'd still wreck your day. So instead of randomizing where Zeromus is, we randomize who Zeromus is. The community has put together a collection of I think we're over 600 sprites now? Some ridiculous number. Which would be one of which will be randomly assigned to Zeromus, which means that we have an important question. Rexel, what is that important question?
Whose butt are we kicking this afternoon?
And we're about to find out.
Yeah, so I imagine that it's not going to be a Zeromus sprite. However, there is a Zeromus sprite out there. I have seen it.
So here goes Beauty into the Zeromus fight.
Yep. So
Ogopogo
as
giving
we,
Nerukad a bit of the business over here.
yeah, as being discussed in chat, this is not a free Z fight.
Nope.
Again, Beauty's gonna
Zeromus is
have to.
never free, really.
No.
Just
Uh,
easier in some cases.
the OG sprite is not in the mix. There's a Zeromus HD. So a massive Zeromus sprite is shows up. Actually, it's this sprite here. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's a massive Zeromus
So
sprite.
we've got Edge with the crystal. Here's the pitch. We're seeing a stream of blue dots, a bunch of explosions. We've got a Gurg, true colors emerging. And the excitement.
Cat. It's a cat. Come on.
That
It's
thing.
Fudd. It's Elmer Fudd.
Reflect. I love it.
I saw Elmer Fudd yesterday as well. Not this sprite, but another one.
That's great.
Second Fudd this weekend. There was one yesterday.
Nerukad going after the Magus Sisters on the other side, but this is Reflectmus. This is BeautyInDiscovery's chance to take it home right here. We'll see how this goes. The Zeromus is, as I said, never free. Can be easier in some cases, but never free. You always want to be, careful around the big guy.
At this point in time, you're hoping that you can do enough damage to avoid a second Big Bang.
Just throw it all in, throw it on the table, and hope that you get by. There's the first one. It has been nerfed, so when Zeromus casts Nuke, he lowers his spell power. Otherwise, the Nuke coming off the same spell power as the Big Bang would be tremendous. There aren't enough 9s in the world, and so the programming lowers it down. But if you do that while he's queued up a Big Bang, you catch the reaction, and while he's got a Big Bang queued, it will reduce the damage that Big Bang does significantly.
Yes, the kicker will be, does Beauty decide to try to nerf the second one? I'm pretty sure, unless it's a massively high roll, both the edges should still live, and you've already got them queued up to Zerk.
Yeah, they're all Berserk.
The only thing that may put a small dent in that is if Fusoya goes down because the other three are Zerked, and then they get hit with rocks.
Nerukad heading into the Ogopogo fight, or the Ogopogo altar, which is not the Ogopogo.
Fu is not cursed on Beauty's side. No cursed ring. That's a standard 20 agility Fu.
We see that shake.
Yeah, Nerukad's got a cursed ring, but... Oh, although you could have been talking about Nerukad's. Sorry. They both have food, they may have both been healing.
There's that nerfing.
Yep.
That's a lot of damage on that edge. It may not be able to survive the Big Bang all the same, if that Big Bang even comes out. We may get the phase change over to phase 3. Oh, there it is.
Dang. Nerukad taking dragons.
Yep.
Edge is down.
That edge goes down.
Yeah, we're fine. You just didn't want Fusoy to hit the deck. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's done.
We're
Okay,
fine.
there we go.
We're very fine.
That's very good. No troubles at all. Congratulations to BeautyInDiscovery for being the first runner out of this seed. Well done.
GG Beauty is Nerukad again, taking on a couple gold dragons here. We'll wait to see if Beauty will be joining us here in the booth. Meantime, These old dragons providing a large sum of XP, 210,000 to Nerukad.
With 3 of 4 goals complete and a doubling of experience due to 10 key items.
And there's Beauty. GG, Beauty.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
How you feeling?
Both very happy that I won and had a great time, and also very annoyed that I didn't buy enough exits. Didn't do that. I no longer am friends with the sequential foo flag. No, thank you.
That still ran pretty well for you. We were speculating on your trip away from the Sand Ruby, wondering if that was a choice to avoid the full heal there.
No, I wish I had more to say other than I just had those pregame jitters and did not compute that it was an objective. Thank goodness I had to route Baron in anyways, so yeah, no, unfortunately just not being very smart in the moment.
Happens to us all.
I was going to say, I covered for you there.
Thank you.
I said, well, sometimes you get that, you've got your mode set, your tunnel vision, you know what you're doing next, you just completely forget, oh, by the way, that's an objective, I should probably do that. But yeah, we were just curious because the speculation also stemmed around the fact that you didn't necessarily need the 25% experience by knocking that out originally, because you had to grind anyway. So we thought, okay, maybe you just didn't want to have to just go through that for whatever reason, but, tried to give me a little bit of the doubt, but...
No, just simply seeing the Yong, I really did not want him. Obviously, he's okay on these flags. He can be good at the end of the seed once you've ground, but that early on, he's pretty much just dead weight, and I think I was betting more on finding better characters, which ultimately I did. So I was just so focused on the character that the objective part of it just out of my brain.
Out of the brain, yep.
Oh, there was Magma Key up on Ordeals. I'm seeing my reel right now.
Yeah, and that was it. Nerukad faded that as well. We were worried that would hide something like the Darkness Crystal, but it didn't really come down to that. Question for you, though, as far as attacking the way you were routing across the moon, because I saw you checked value first. We saw there was an ugly Octomammoth there. Was the thought process, hey, I'm at least going to try to wipe the moon as best I can? Or was there a thought that, okay, I'm not quite sure if I can get through this fight, I'm going to go try to see what this pan's holding for me?
So I think for me, not having a pass in hand, I'm thinking I have to come back up to the moon anyways right now, unless I spike pan and it pass. And then that kind of stinks anyways, because really I just need that one more key item. And so it was blowing up the moon because without a pass in hand, I was going to have to come back anyways, and it worked out for me because otherwise you fly all the way back, go do a check, get your key item, fly all the way back up, walk down, so on and so forth.
Yeah, it looks like the Sylph does give a key item, so it would have been an item for you. But I was just curious. I know that when you have potential really ugly fights like that Octomammoth fight, there could be some routing thoughts going through the head.
Yeah, and the reason I did it when I first got to the moon is, I wanted to go for density because at that point I needed 4 key items and there's 5 checks on the bottom, and I'm like, okay, I feel like this moon is going to be heavy, but 4 out of 5 is, I think, asking for a lot, and it was in fact the case. So I really wanted to get through that Octomom, and that's why I love buying illusions on this flag set. Absent and adamant armor, they'll do a lot for you. Because with 4 characters, you don't always get the benefit of even having a white mage, and if you do, they're probably busy doing things like Berserk or healing, so Blink can be a little difficult, although, of course, it is sometimes way better, like that stinky D-Mist.
Yeah, speaking of which, we noticed as soon as you went into it that you had left the the Avenger on your cane, and we got a lot of ews in chat, a lot of oh no's in the booth. Did you just say, you know what, screw it, I'm already in the fight, let's go after it, and I'm not going to reset out? Or what was the thought process there?
Yeah, I think the thought process was like, okay, I'm already here. Let me just go with it because I knew that the myths were going to hit hard because the magic power is really strong there. And sure enough, it worked out the way it did, where it killed him. I then had time to life up my other edge and my foo, heal them up, and then just leave him down and finish it the rest of the way. So yeah, it added a little bit more time there, but it felt like it would have been more time just to reset, come back, and redo my equipment. Plus, on top of that, with a white spear, he's not going to be hitting hard anyways because of the holy resist. So, just milk what I can from him and then leave him dead the rest of the way.
Definitely worked out, and it was a pleasant scene to watch. So, outside of that, Mike, do you have anything there for Beauty?
Yeah, just wondering. So for the people watching, for the people who are maybe looking to learn something from this, what lesson do you hope people take away from the seed?
Well, I think the main thing is when the seed gives you power, don't be shy. A double starting Edge party, first off, made me laugh out loud because that's just silly. Edge already makes it really kind of free, and then you add two of them in there. And so you could just blow up the overworld. As you see, I didn't even do watery pass. I just got right to it. And then, of course, get an early earth crystal, and that helped out a lot too. I think I went into Eblin looking for adamants because those are the ultimate solution that really, truly make it free. Didn't work out, unfortunately, but with double power shirts, double Zeus gauntlets, I got at least 2 pieces of Hanzo steel. Yeah, like I said, just don't be shy. And the other thing too is, like I mentioned earlier, illusions, don't sleep on them. Like I said, your white mage, especially where you don't find Bacchus, which I'm very curious if they were in Hummingway, being able to self-blink your whole party in one turn, and then that kind of opens up your white mage to do things like Berserk if you're relying on that strat, is very, very beneficial.
Oh, good, thank you. Any last thoughts?
Maybe that I could have beaten that Octomam the first time through if I'd remember I had a Moon Veil. Once again, another one of those things, don't sleep on it. It would have been long, it would have been arduous, it would have been pulling teeth to just hold A for however long. But I wish I would have remembered that. But that's the only other thought.
That came up in the chat as well.
Yeah, I was very frustrated with myself a little bit later. It wasn't even until I was walking back down the lunar subterranean to go fight Z that it hit me.
I thought it was a masterful performance by you, sir. Congratulations again, GG.
Thank you very much, and do your objectives, right? That darkness out of Baron was everything. So, I think that really helped me out a lot, hoping that, Nerukad probably, well, it sounds like he stayed off ordeals, but if you went up Zod or something like that, then there you go.
All right, well, appreciate it. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you to both of you for doing commentary, Garen for tracking, Leggy Starscream for restreaming. If it wasn't for our restream team, we wouldn't have all this fun to watch. So much appreciate your volunteer efforts. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Yeah, you too. We wouldn't have anything to restream if you all weren't running, so... And he's gone. So we got Nerukad finishing up Reflectmus here. There's rocks falling.
Yeah, there's the rocks. Yeah, it's going to be in a matter of seconds. I'm trying to keep an eye there to see how much longer we had on that one, so...
Yeah, the spoon was at Sylph, so that gave Nerukad a 12th key item, and Reflectmus is going down. So GG's to Nerukad as well.
Oh, just shy of 10 minutes between them. Good race.
And the evidence of the difference that routing can make. I mean, Nerukad didn't make any mistakes, just made choices that didn't pan out, which is what happens in a randomizer.
Yep, I was going to say that's what we like to call in this community is rando being rando.
Yeah.
So, sometimes the way it is, you sit there and still execute. Unfortunately, you made routing decisions someone else did not, and it comes back to, unfortunately, award them and not award you in the process. But that doesn't mean the next time it won't be different. So,
yeah, you never know. It was an excellently run race. We're waiting to see if Nerukad wants to come and talk with us as well.
In the meantime, while we're waiting on that, let me pull up the schedule. Yep, we've got Stony and E Ninja going on in about an hour and a half. Okay.
We're hearing from Restream team that there will not be an interview with Nerukad, so congratulations, Nerukad. Well done. 90 minutes on this seat is nothing to sneeze at. Well done.
Nope. Absolutely. Yeah, we have Stony and E Ninja facing off about an hour and a half there at 7 p.m. Eastern. And that will round out, I believe, week 3. I think Loof and TJ still have an outstanding race. We don't have a time for that race, so I believe Stony and E Ninja will be the last one. If this is something of interest to you, Mike did bring that up a little bit earlier. Please join our Discord. We have a absolute plethora of information and individuals that want you to have a great time when you play this game. Whether it is in a competitive atmosphere like we have right now on your screen with the racing, or whether it is a, hey, I just want to learn something new. There is something here for everybody at the Free Enterprise community. Please don't hesitate to join today.
Yeah, and there are 100 ways to contribute, even if you are not a runner. A lot of things you can add to the code base. You can add to, you can talk about programming. You can add to the Z sprites we're seeing, or the music for the twin harp. Lots of options for things you can do, or even just come along and join us in the booth here, or be a good friend and watch the games and give your commentary in the chat. We just love having people around.
Yeah, absolutely. It's non-commitment. It's one of those things where we put ourselves, like Mike said, in being an open, accepting community. It's a place where you can meet people with a whole bunch of different interests, not just free enterprise, and you'll find you'll make quite a few friends out in the process. So join today. If this isn't your first rodeo, we'd love to see you, join and give it a shot. I know a lot of us watched for several years before we took that small step into the pond. Make this today your day. We'd love to see you. So outside of that, we have one more week of pool play here in the All Fort Cup. And then we will break down from, I believe we're at 19 teams, and we'll go down to 8 for the bracket. Let's see if my math is correct here. 18 teams. We're going to go down to 8 for the bracket section of the tournament. That will happen shortly thereafter. In the meantime, do you have any final comments here, Mike, before we head out?
Just to say a thank you to you, Rex Soul, and to Leggy Starscream, who did our wonderful restreaming, and to Garen, who kept the tracker going. It's always wonderful to work with all of you, and lovely to see all y'all in chat. We're going to head out to raid Drinks Glue, who's practicing these very flags, so y'all can stick around and watch someone else take these sorts of seeds apart. And see how they handle with them. There goes my words. I was doing good for like an hour and a half. See how they handle. See how they handle the challenges that are presented here. So thanks again to all of you, and thanks to everyone watching. Thanks to the runners.
All right. Well, until next time, you guys have a wonderful evening.